I'm Ada Meredith. I'm the Associate Director for Graduate Affairs and Strategic Initiative in the School of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures. Sounds like a long title and complicated, but one of my jobs is to basically preside over this ceremony, and that's what I enjoy the most, believe it or not. So I'll be the MC today. And before we get underway, I'd like to basically provide some important announcements. The first is, I'm going to read a statement that the university has asked us to read to all of you. Commencement celebrates the achievement of a lifetime for thousands of terrapins. Our university policies do not allow for disruption of any university events, including commencement. If you wish to engage in protests, demonstrations, or other such expressive activities, you must abide by the university policy and do so in the designated areas outside of the venue. Thank you for making this day special for our graduating terps. On behalf of the School of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures, I welcome the graduating students and their family and friends to the Spring 2024 commencement ceremony. Families and friends, thank you for coming. These students are here today because of the guidance, love, and financial support you have shared with them over many years. Altogether, we have 125 undergraduate and graduate students as candidates for graduation from both the fall and the spring semesters. Students who have arrived at this important milestone in your lives, thanks to your hard work and dedication, and the school congratulates you on this remarkable achievement. Felicidades. So we're going to start the speeches now. Don't worry, they'll be short. So at this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Mel Scullin, the director of the school, who will say a few words and in turn introduce our dean, Stephanie Shonikan. Dr. Mary Ellen Scullin received her joint PhD in French and Theoretical Linguistics from Indiana University in 1993. She taught at the University of Louisville and Chancellor College in Malawi before joining UMD in 1998. Her recent research has focused on technological mediated innovations in language learning and teaching, such as flipped, blended, hybrid, and online courses. Since 2002, she has co-authored several editions of 2 French language textbooks targeted to beginning and intermediate level university students, Chez nous, branché sur le monde francophone. How's my French? Okay. Currently in its 5th edition, and Point de Départ in the 2nd edition. She has been the SLC director since July 2022, after serving as head of French and associate director of academic affairs in the school from 2014 and 2017. Professor Scullin.
Gracias, Professor Meredez, and welcome to everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to be here and to welcome all of you to the 2024 commencement ceremony for SLLC. Applause. Applause. This is always such a special, joyous, and festive occasion. It's wonderful to see everyone decked out in their academic finest and to see the creative renditions of the classic black mortarboard, and to see the pride and happiness on the faces of the friends and families of the graduates. At the same time, the faculty is always just a little bit sad because we may not be seeing some of you, or we might see some of you for the last time today, which we hope not to, or we may see you for the last time in a long while. We hope that you'll keep in touch and that you'll reach out to us for advice and for those letters of recommendation that you may need in the future. And that you will share your stories as you continue on whatever paths you take, using whatever media, in whatever language or languages, and in whatever region or regions of the world you happen to be. I promise that we will share your achievements widely and with great pride. We will take pride in all of them, and that we'll be very happy to hear from you. Today, we're honored to be joined by Dr. Stephanie Shonikan, the Dean of the College of Arts and Humanities, who will make a few remarks. Dean Shonikan also received her doctorate from Indiana University, although not in linguistics, in ethnomusicology and folklore, with a minor in African American studies. Before joining UMD as our dean in July of 2022, she taught and held a variety of administrative roles at Columbia College Chicago, the University of Missouri, and the University of Massachusetts. She's a prolific writer and inspiring speaker who has published many articles, book chapters, and 6 books, I believe at last count, 2 this past year alone. She's particularly interested in exploring the nexus where identity, history, culture, and music meet, and has published widely on Afrobeat, the legendary Nigerian musician Fela Kuti, African American and Nigerian hip-hop, soul music, and country music. She's also written and produced a live-action short film, The Lioness of Lisabi, based on the life of Fela's mother. She grew up in Nigeria, where she earned her BA and MA degrees after being born in Equatorial Guinea to a mother from the Caribbean islands and a Nigerian father. Clearly a global citizen, she speaks several languages and understands deeply the importance of language and culture and their intersection with identity and diversity. Dean Shonican made an immediate and lasting impression on the faculty, staff, and students in the School of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures because she speaks our language, even though we all speak different languages and work in different cultures and different media. We are honored to have her address us today. Please join me in welcoming her to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. How's it going? Good, good. I feel like after Dr. Scullin talked about we won't be seeing you for a while, we should all break into Edelweiss from The Sound of Music, but let's not do that. Dear graduates of summer and winter of 2023 and the spring of 2024, as Dean of the College of Arts and Humanities, I could not be prouder of you for reaching this milestone, graduating with a degree from the School of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures here in the College of Arts and Humanities at the University of Maryland. I'm so honored to serve as Dean of this college because our graduates will provide a portal for us all to reflect on our past, process our present, and prepare for our future. Our graduates remind us to do the work of getting beyond the tweets and the media stories to dive deeper into who we were, who we are, and most importantly, who we hope to be. If we want the world to truly change, and if we are to evolve as a more just and equitable society, we must continue studying, thinking, analyzing, and providing the rich historical and social-cultural context that our society needs to build sustainable and ethical democracies, communities, healthcare systems, educational institutions, technologies, and social networks on a local, national, and global level. We remind ourselves as artists and humanists, and we remind others of the great potential we have as human beings to give love and empathy to each other. In short, all the work we do in the College of Arts and Humanities sits at the very heart of humanity. I commend you all as graduates of the School of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures, in particular for the work you have done to learn and understand our rich and diverse societies and cultures, our languages, and various representations in literatures and cinema. This provides the wider context needed to understand our world and create sustainable and comprehensive interventions that will make our world better for all. I want to congratulate my colleagues, the faculty. Let's give them a round of applause. I also want to thank our families and friends for being here. So I want to pause and see who's in the room. So I'm going to call out a few groups. If you're part of the group, wave your hand and make some noise. Let's see, do we have any parents in the room? Parents of our graduates. I see you. Okay, a quiet group of parents. All right, that's okay. I saw all the waves. Any grandparents in the room? Good, excellent. Hello, grandparents. Welcome. Uncles and aunties. Okay, aunties, I see you. A little louder, very good. Any siblings in the room? I expected that. I love the siblings. Do we have any cousins in the room? Any cousins? Okay. One cousin back there. Wonderful. Any spouses in the room? Spouses of our graduates? Yes, I see you. And I know that this has been a heavy lift for our spouses. I get it. I do. Any children? Children? Yes! I see you back there. Very good, very good. And then lastly, any friends in the room? I expect that from our friends. Loud and obnoxious. Lovely. Let me thank each and every one of you for lifting up these graduates with your moral, emotional, and financial support. Parents, I feel you. They would not be here without you, and I and my colleagues would not be here without them. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for recognizing the important work your graduates and ours have done over the last few years that have brought them to this point. Dear SLLC graduates, you will soon be valued SLLC and ARHU alums. I love alums. One of the high points of this academic year was a visit to the workshop of one of our esteemed alums, Jim Henson. His impact on my life began a long time ago when I was a little girl growing up on the other side of the world. I was growing up in a different culture with a different worldview. Yet, a Maryland alum changed my life. Henson's Sesame Street and The Muppet Show helped me see and understand the world beyond the limitations of my own small territory. So as you cross into the realm of our alumni, let me encourage you with the words of another alum, Kermit the Frog. Kermit said, quote, "Life's like a movie. Write your own ending. Never worry about failure, it's gonna happen. But that's okay. Go ahead, take chances, and you might just find that what feels like failure isn't failure at all. It's what inspires you to dream even bigger." Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you both for those wonderful words. And isn't our dean cool? So now, it's a pleasure for me to introduce one of you, dear graduates. It's at the school undergraduate student speaker, Mayreke Debi. Debi. Mayreke is a senior undergraduate student from Pallasville, Maryland, completing her Bachelor of Science in Business Management with a double major in German Studies. Her commitment to arts and humanities has been demonstrated through her 7-semester-long involvement in the German Cluster, the German Club, her membership in Delta Phi Alpha, National German Honor Society, and through being selected as one of the recipients for the German Studies Department Outstanding German Studies Major Award. Beyond this, Mayreke has been an active leader in the Alumni Association's Student Alumni Leadership Council, SALC, was recently inducted into Phi Beta Kappa, and is serving today as the SLC Commencement Student Speaker. Following graduation, she plans to pursue a career in higher education administration. Mayreke Debi.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. My name is Mayreke Debi, and I'm so honored to speak with you all today. So, when I was young, the first thing I wanted to be when I grew up was a librarian. Now, I know that is almost as riveting as wanting to be an astronaut or a chemist or a firefighter. You see, I love reading, and as a child, I was captivated by the way words have the ability to evolve beyond something printed on a page. They cast wondrous images in your head and instill lessons brought to life by fictional characters. But as much as I loved the playfulness and power of language, also despised it. I am the daughter of 2 German immigrants and grew up in a small rural town here in Maryland. Naturally, I was exposed to my family's language and culture throughout my childhood. Despite this immersion in German, however, my command of it left much to be desired. That is to say, I was considerably far from being fluent. My grandparents, who only speak German, would call every birthday and holiday, excited to have a meaningful conversation with me. Each and every time, I would feel the tidal waves of embarrassment crashing over me as I stumbled over words and struggled to express myself. I knew exactly what they were saying, but was never able to say anything in response. In these ever so humbling situations, my mother would have her ear pressed up to the other side of the phone and would quietly tell me what I should be saying in German in response. It was quite literally like playing the game telephone while on the telephone. After each call, I was left to sit with my shortcomings, feeling an overwhelming sense of both frustration and shame. But these phone calls ended up acting as a catalyst for my growth and authored a new chapter in my relationship with language. Wanting to put an end to the shameful phone calls and to foster a richer relationship with my parents, I ended up registering for a German course during the first semester of my freshman year. My German had improved over the years at home, but I wanted, and admittedly needed, the greater pressure of external accountability via grades for consistent growth as opposed to small bursts of motivation here and there. Now, about that first phone call that I had with my grandparents, in which my improved German allowed for me to finally be able to engage in near seamless conversation, I will forever remember and treasure that memory. Let's be clear, my German was, I am sure, far from flawless in that phone call. I mean, there are like 6 words for the word "the" in German. And the reality is that learning a language is difficult and not without mistakes. But being able to push through the barrier of perfectionism and to persevere allowed me to have better relationships with those around me. You see, when we engage with another language, we are doing so much more than mastering a set of vocabulary or a conjugation list. Learning a new language is about engaging in meaningful dialogue and forging relationships across cultural and linguistic boundaries. Every language we interact with holds a new perspective, enriching and fulfilling our lives in ways that would remain otherwise dormant. Class of 2024, as we are seated, quite literally, on the threshold of a new chapter of our lives, let us not forget the invaluable skill and gift that possessing another language is, nor the responsibilities that come with it. Our words should not be used to harm or to merely communicate, but should strive to evoke collaboration, inspire action, as well as to uplift and unite. Thank you to the School of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures for entrusting me with the honor of sharing the stage with our distinguished faculty. And thank you to the College of Arts and Humanities and its dedicated personnel for nurturing our linguistic and cultural passions, as well as empowering our graduating class to lead responsibly as we move forth. Congratulations, fellow graduates, on this milestone. Our academic journey has certainly been characterized by tenacity, adaptability, and growth. Be proud of the language or languages you have learned and are continuing to learn, and do not be limited by the fear of making mistakes. Thank you again, and go Terps!
Thank you, Marike Devay. Another round of applause for our undergraduate speaker. Yes. Our next speaker is Dr. Fatima Keshavarz Karamustafa, Professor of Persian and Director of the Russian Institute for Persian Studies. Professor Fatima Keshavarz was born and raised in the city of Shiraz and completed her studies in Shiraz University and University of London. She taught at Washington University in St. Louis for over 20 years, where she chaired the Department of Asian and Near Eastern Languages and Literature from 2004 and 2011. In 2012, Dr. Keshavar joined the University of Maryland as the Russian Institute Chair in Persian Language and Literature and Director of the Russian Institute Center for Persian Studies. She also served as a director of our own School of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures from 2014 to 2021. She's the author of an award-winning books, including Reading Mystical Lyric, The Case of Jalal ad-Din Rumi. Jalal, my Persian is off. Jalal ad-Din Rumi from 1998. Reciting the Name of the Red Rose, UC Press 2006. Book of Literary Analysis and Social Commentary titled Jasmine and the Stars, Reading More Than Lolita in Tehran from 2007. She has also published other books and numerous journal articles. Keshavar is also a published poet in Persian and English and an activist for peace and justice. Without any other further ado, Dr. Keshavar.
Thank you very much, Professor Emeritus. Class of 2024, greetings and congratulations. Congratulations on completing this important stage of your journey of learning. Be assured that there are many more stages to come. You are here because you chose to learn about the many languages, literatures, and cultures of the world. Even more so because you were excited about learning the cultural grammar and vocabulary of connecting with others. I understand this passion deeply. For me, one of the most important of these communication tools, whether during my time living in Iran, in my country of birth, or afterwards in Europe, or later here in the United States. For me, one of the most important communication tools in all of these times has been poetry. And so when I was asked to speak for you for a few minutes, I decided, why not talk about why I teach mystical poetry? Not just as an art, but as the bridge that keeps our hearts and minds connected to one another. Why in the world that hinges almost entirely on computational and technological skills, we need to read poetry? Some might ask. This is an issue that we explore in any of the classes that I teach at length. Here, I would only answer in a world that hinges almost entirely on computational and technological skills, we especially need to read poetry. And add just a few of the points that we find at the end of our explorations in my courses on mystical poetry. Poetry is an entertaining and complex game we play with language. A kind of linguistic magic, if you like. When we read a poem, we allow our minds to enter a world of play in which the parameters are set by the imagination. Not just the imagination of the poet, but equally, even more, by that of the reader. Reading a poem deeply, we allow ourselves to participate in the creation and recreation of a world that comes into existence during the process of our reading. The key is enjoying that process. The trick in enjoying poetry is to understand that as readers, we play a key role in this act of creation. Good poets make that easy. My favorite medieval Persian poet, Jalal ad-Din Rumi, once wrote هر یک مریمیم و یک عیسی داریم. اگر ما را درد پیدا شود عیسی ما بزاید. We are each a Mary pregnant with a Jesus. If we seek the truth genuinely, our Jesus will be born. What? We invent our God? But pregnancy is not an invention. It is a natural function of our biology, resulting in the survival of our species. And God, for a medieval Persian Muslim poet manifesting in the person of Jesus, Rumi will have no say in the way you read and understand these lines. That means the poetic magic is not only presented to us, but partially performed by us. The participation in the poetic event should entail many experiences, but as I mentioned above, it should be fun. One of the main objectives in everything I teach is to demonstrate that dealing with poetry is fun, a fact that often is obscured from us by the preoccupation with the technical aspects of poetry, which are incidentally quite important. We now get to the question of mystical poetry, things that the Hildegard of Bingen, Francis of Assisi, John of the Cross, or the Persian mystic Rumi I just quoted, wrote, sang, danced to, or otherwise performed. They treated poetry as an interactive mode of communication rather than an exotic art object. And yet, we call them mystics, and the world's mystical, which has never ceased to amaze me, because theirs is a simple tale with little twists and turns. The divine is not a presence external to us, rather it is inside us, only we should recognize and nurture it. In fact, I once wrote an article titled Pregnant with God, and the art of mothering the sacred in Rumi's poetry. Some editors were surprised. Others liked it. And I thought, hopefully that's the reaction that Rumi would have liked. Some shocked, some accepted. In fact, all I wanted to say was, think about this very simple image that he is giving us of coming into the world to be our God. To be sure, a good part of our learning and exploration in the course focuses on literary characteristics of poetic speech, our human cognitive tools to extract and express meaning, the social and communal functions of poetry, but we also discuss the ways in which these mystic poets suggest we use their poetry to recognize the divine presence, which has many names and definitions in different traditions. Being skilled observers of their communities, these mystics understood the experiential nature of human learning, hence their practical pedagogy. I'll give you a small number of the important practical notes they left for their students and followers. To begin with, they named this divine Haq, or Haq Ta'ala, the truth supreme. In this way, they freed the concept from any particular religious tradition, including their own. Second, they prescribed said honesty and openness to yourself and to all those around you is the greatest nourishment for the God you carry inside, they said. Lastly, they appointed zoh, or tasting, as the chief pedagogical strategy for recognizing the divine. No act of piety or renunciation, they would say, would do what one instance of tasting the divine would. And now, to end, let us circle back to why mystical poetry. To give their readers the stage to perform, to participate, to feel the words, to dance to their rhythm, sing to their music, and in a moment of total honesty and openness to themselves and others, taste the presence of the Supreme. Rumi puts it better, far more effectively in shorter words. در بحر صفا گداختم همچون نمک، نه کفر و یقین ماند، نه ایمان و نه شک. اندر دل من ستاره‌ای پیدا شد، گم گشت در آن ستاره هر هفت فلک. I melted in the sea of purity like salt. Neither faith remained, nor infidelity, neither certainty nor doubt. A star appeared in the center of my chest. The seven heavens disappeared in that one star. Wishing you to meet the star, and congratulations again on your graduation.
Thank you, Professor Keshavarz, for making such a passionate case for reading mystical poetry and reading Rumi. So I hope that you go and engage. I'm also in the same club, the literature club, as Professor Keshavarz. So we really encourage you to read, and poetry is just fantastic. So go beyond those quizzes on the internet that says, who said it, Taylor Swift or Rumi? No, go and read Rumi. So now is your turn, graduates. Are you ready? So I'm going to be calling each program, and I would like you to stand in line. I would like the candidates in Arabic to rise and form a line at the stage. Start with the steps, perfect. And I will call Professor Peter Glanville and Ahmed Hanafi to the podium to present the candidates.
Hello, I'm grateful to be here to celebrate with the students graduating with the bachelor degree in Arabic Studies, and I would like to start with Evan. So, Evan finished graduating with a double degree in Russian language and Arabic Studies, and he's joining the Capstone Year program in Meknes, Morocco 2024-2025, and he just received the Boyne Scholarship, and upon completion of his Capstone Year in Morocco, he plans to pursue a career in the field of refugee relocation and resettlement. Congratulations, Evan. Then we have Amaya Greenberg. Amaya Greenberg is graduating with a double degree in Arabic Studies and Government and Politics, and she's also joining the Capstone Year program in Morocco, studying Arabic for a year, and she will be spending the year being a Boyne recipient and in the Arabic flagship program. Congratulations, Amaya. Then Mariam Abdullah is graduating with a degree in Arabic Studies, and I'm quoting her. I am very grateful and indebted to my wonderful family's endless love and unwavering support and belief in me, without which I would have never been able to get here. I'm also very thankful to my amazing Arabic professors who ignited my passion for the language encouraged my studies, and made my time at UMD so special. I'll miss drawing ducks on your office doors. I plan to begin nursing school at Salisbury University in the fall and draw dinosaurs on patients' whiteboard. Good luck with drawing, Maryam. Congratulations. Then Elisa Khan, she's graduating with a degree in Arabic Studies, and she would like to say thank you to her family and friends for all of the support she has been receiving over her studies at the University of Maryland. Congratulations, Elisa. Okay, then David Kiznowski. He's graduating with a major in Arabic and minor in global tourism studies. And he would like to say thank you to his family and friends for the support over the past years. And he will be working in law enforcement upon graduation. Congratulations, David.
I would like the candidates in Chinese to rise and form a line, please, at the stage. And I will call to the podium Professor Minghan Chu and Mei Kong to present the candidates.
We're so proud to be with our graduates this year, and we have Martina Lee McLeod, and she is an anthropology and Chinese double major. She is the Adele Austin Rickett Scholar recipient, and she's also on the Dean's List and also in the semester's honors. She studied abroad in Taiwan on Educational Abroad National Taiwan University Scholarship. Congratulations, Martina. We have William Horton with us today. He is a double major in Chinese and government politics. Currently, he is still in the Master of Public Policy 4-year plus 1-year program with a focus on international security and economic policy. William began studying Chinese at years of 5 years old, and he studied abroad in Taiwan in 2022 through the Critical Languages Scholarship. And William will intern at the U.S. State Department in the East Asian Division this summer. Congratulations, William.
I would like the candidates in media and cinema media studies to rise and form a line, please, at the stage. And I will call Professor Caroline Eads, Hester Baer, and Elizabeth Papazian to present the candidates.
Good afternoon. It's an honor and a pleasure to welcome CMS graduates and their families. You now deserve a round of applause, but before we bestow this degree, well-deserved degree upon you, I will introduce each of the graduates. Thank you. Okay, Cooper Schoenfeld. You will receive a Bachelor in Cinema and Media Studies and General Business. You have been in London for the Study Abroad program. Congratulations. Okay. All right. right, Therese Bailey, also a CMS graduate, was also in London in the study abroad program. She knows, I can say this? Yes, the entire School of Rock movie by heart. That's an accomplishment. And she plans on working anywhere in the entertainment industry. Good. Either writing, directing, or doing makeup. Congratulations. Emma Sarah Rothman is a double major, CMS and English. And I guess this is another one who went to London in the study abroad program. Congratulations for your degree. Another double major, Jamie Lynn Muller, Cinema and Media Studies and Studio Art, magna cum laude. Congratulations. She wants to mention that she couldn't have succeeded without the support of her family and friends, indeed. And she plans to continue providing exceptional service at medieval times. Congratulations. Okay. Francine Osei Bonsu, Cinema and Media Studies major, studied abroad to major in digital media. She's a first generation college graduate. Was 4 times on the Dean's list. She studied abroad in filmmaking and attended USC for her master's in television production. She will continue her production business and open a studio to creatives. She shoots productions and again will become a future TV and film producer and director. Wayne Hadley Jr. will have his BA in Cinema and Media Studies and is a photographer for Wenny's Production and is a future film director indeed. Congratulations. I present you Kalea Ali Kai Perry. Cinema and Media Studies major, was on the Dean's list in the fall 23, is a member of the National Society of Leadership and Success, also known as NSLS. She received an Edward T. Conroy and G.B. Cooper Memorial Scholarship. She also received honors for outstanding leadership as an elite women's soccer player. Kalea will be attending Towson University to receive her master's in communication management. Agri Bonds, another major in Cinema and Media Studies, will be joining the U.S. Air Force and while pursuing his film career. Oh, okay. Well, Javier Aguin Ordonez is a double major in Cinema and Media Studies and Studio Arts. He has a quote for us, I guess. It's not a bad life, just a bad day. Keep going forward. We'll remember this. Javier would like to start his own business and continue pursuing his creative dreams and just got admitted at MICA. Congratulations. course. Yes. Jack Britton Powell, double major, Cinema and Media Studies and Criminal Justice. Jack co-founded Heavy Feather Productions, videography and photography services. Next year he will be a graduate student here at the School of Journalism, will be growing his business, and wants us to know that he will not have succeeded without the help of his parents, his family. Congratulations. Matthew Yakula, double major in Cinema and Media Studies and Immersive Media Design. Matthew was on the UMD Dean's list and plans to work in the film industry and help to create fun stories. Thank you, Matthew. Congratulations. Okay, Chloe Johnson is a double major in Cinema and Media Studies and English, and has also a minor in linguistics. She had a citation from the Honors College, Honors Humanities, is a Banneker Key Scholar, is a member of the Sigma Tau Delta English Honor Society, and a drum major in the Mighty Sound of Maryland Marching Band. Chloe has a full-time job, and will have a full-time job, as a content creator at Next Level Sports and Entertainment. Congratulations. Kelly O'Connell is a major in Cinema and Media Studies and minor in Spanish. She's also a presidential scholar. She is working for the Washington Commanders as a coach, a video intern, and for the Maryland Black Bears as a photographer and content creator. Congratulations. Rob Lloyd, a double major in Cinema and Media Studies and Philosophy. He received a citation, designed the Cultures and Creative Honors College, and will work in the film industry in New York City, and has been an outstanding student here. Congratulations, Rob. Okay. Jacob Crispin, a double major, Cinema and Media Studies and English in the Media Studies track. Jacob received the Maryland Filmmakers Lifetime Achievement Award. He would like to thank God for all the opportunities he's been blessed with, and he wants also to thank, of course, his family. He will work on writing and directing personal films and become somebody with a great filmmaking career. Congratulations. Julian Embat is a double major, Cinema Media Studies and Psychology. He will be next year pursuing a master's degree in political science at George Washington University. Congratulations. Benjamin Sarpong is a double major in Cinema and Media Studies and Communications. Congratulations to you.
All right. I would like the candidates in French to please rise and form a line at the stage. And I will call Professor Valerie Orlando to present the candidates, but the French department has a big contingent today, and I'm sure they're all going to come up. So Marlene Matar, Hannah Whitman, Sarah Radesh, Hervé Campagne, Caroline Eads, and Cecilia Cillian.
travail en équipe. So we work together, and since all of us are so invested in our students, we all wanted to be up here on stage. We have an exceptional group of doctoral and master's students with us. Some of them are walking, even though they finished a few years ago. Because of COVID, we weren't able to have the ceremony, of course, so they're coming back and doing it the right way. So I'm going to... I'm going to let my colleague, Professor Ben-Aresh, who is the Director of Graduate Studies, announce the names, and then the advisor of these graduate students will read the particulars pertaining to their dissertation subjects. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Sarah Ben-Aresh and Caroline Eads, my colleagues, to come up.
Well, thank you, Professor Orlando. Hello, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to be part of this joyful celebration. So let me call back to the stage Professor Caroline Eads, who will present each of the graduates in French. So first,
You will never get enough of me. Okay. Our first doctoral student, our PhD, is Morgan Callan Simpson. This is a moment Morgan and myself have been expecting for 4 years, just as most of graduates here and their families present today. Because in March 2020, Morgan had just finished her fascinating and outstanding dissertation on French contemporary theater when the pandemic warranted a lockdown of the university and squashed many expectations, including doctoral defenses, not to mention commencements and many celebrations. Thankfully, Zoom started to spread its wings across academia, and the graduate school of the university allowed for remote defenses. So we planned accordingly for Morgan to present her work to her doctoral committee in due time. On my side of things, there was no doubt that her research would receive the acknowledgement and congratulations it truly deserved. But it was the first defense I was chairing remotely, and I was terrified that a technical glitch would force us to interrupt the meeting, thus postponing it indefinitely. And Morgan, on her side of things, had found a quiet room in her house and was very worried that some interruptions would come from the kitchen next door or her family. But in a nutshell, what happened is that her presentation was outstanding. The discussion of her work fascinating, the technology flawless, and the children quiet. This is why, even if we both had to wait until today for various reasons, it was deemed absolutely necessary to acknowledge Morgan's brilliant success, her resilience, and now her contribution as an excellent instructor and a committed colleague in the French program. So please join me to congratulate Morgan for her patience and her accomplishment. Madeline Muravchik, who will officially become a doctor of philosophy. But for all who know her, She's been worthy of this degree and the title of colleague for some time now. Coming to the University of Maryland from the New York Tisch School of the Arts and from George Mason University, she has demonstrated the incredible ability to go from being a talented performer, actor, specialist of experimental theater, to becoming a superb scholar in the field of theater studies and the author of a thesis acclaimed by her doctoral committee. In addition, our undergraduate students can attest of her expertise as a teacher and the Department of French of her competence as a teaching assistant coordinator. In other words, before embarking on her career as a college professor, she has already demonstrated her expertise in research with an outstanding array of conference presentations and publications, albeit without the title and the degree. So Madeleine, it is my great pleasure to officially upgrade your CV today. You sometimes kept me on the edge as far as deadlines were concerned, but congratulations for meeting them every time and truly deserving the honor bestowed upon you today. Congratulations. May I call to the podium Elizabeth Robinson? I'm going to read a message from her advisor, Mercedes Bayarchon, who cannot be with us today and is a professor at the University of Massachusetts at Lowell. So here's the message. Chère Liz, graduates, faculty, and honored guests, it is with great pride and admiration that I'm sending a few words about Liz Robinson, who has accomplished remarkable work in her dissertation on gynocolonial legacies in North American Francophone imaginaries. Watching Liz grow as a scholar has been a privilege. Her professionalism, unflagging excitement, and deep passion for French and Quebec studies have been truly inspiring. Liz's dedication to the University of Maryland's French program, SLLC, and to her fellow students has set a high standard for all. Her enthusiasm for teaching, creativity, and passion are contagious, significantly contributing to the success of the undergraduate programs at UMD and the United States Military Academy at West Point. It has made a meaningful impact on all the students she encounters. Her thoughtful insights, innovative research, and collegiality have significantly contributed to our academic community, and I have no doubt that her future endeavors will continue to leave a profound impact. Liz, you should be incredibly proud of your accomplishments. Your journey has been one of excellence, resilience, and unwavering commitment. Though I am not physically present, I'm here with you in spirit, celebrating your well-deserved success. Congratulations, Dr. Robinson. More amazing achievements await you, and it is both an honor and a privilege to now have you no longer be my PhD student, but to call you a colleague. End of quotation. I will now add my own words. Well, not my words, actually, but those of your favorite singer. Liz, even if you are on your way to a wonderful career, nous resterons toujours sur ce chemin. Tu es en sûreté dans mon cœur et mon cœur est toujours vivant. Maybe you will remember, we'll stay forever this way. You are safe in my heart, and my heart will go on and on. Thank you for Céline Dion, and you glad I'm not singing this. Congratulations. Mehdi, who is receiving a Master of Arts degree. Please do come. And I would like to say a few words about Inam's contributions and accomplishments. Inam's presence on this stage today is both too late and too early. Too late because Inam successfully obtained her master's in 2020. Too early because she has moved on to become a doctoral student here. And we are now waiting for her to finish her dissertation before welcoming her back here. But especially for you, dear recent graduates, Inam is the best example of what you just accomplished. A degree is not only something you deserve, thanks to hard work, tenacity, and dedication, it is something that will stay with you forever, no matter what happens in your career and your life. But more importantly, it is something that propels you towards the future. So congratulations, Inam, for your personal achievement as a scholar and also for your presence and commitment to our field of studies.
Hello, I'm Dr. Hannah Wegman, and I'm the French undergraduate advisor, and it is my pleasure to tell you about our French graduates today. We have an exceptional group of students, and it is my joy to work with them on a regular basis, helping them decide what courses to take, when they should study abroad, always, and where to get the best pastries in DC. So I'm so excited to share these students with you today. Cameron Coleman is receiving a BA in French and in computer science. He is an alum of our Maryland and Nice program. Cameron actually spent the entire year in Nice from the fall 2022 to spring 2023, and he would especially like to thank Madame Eads, who you've heard from a few times, Tevi, one of our outstanding TAs, Madame Scollin, myself, Dr. Campagna, and the entire French department. He has been such a joy in our department, and I'm sure he also is to his family. So he wants to give a thank you to his family here today. I'm pleased to show you Victoria Bayan, who is graduating with a double major in government and politics and French language and literature. And she is also a graduate of our Maryland and Nice program, spending this spring. She just got back from Nice days ago, I'm assuming. So she has returned from the French Mediterranean, and we are so thankful to have her in our program. Grayson McCord is graduating with a double major in French language and literature and government and politics with an international relations concentration. She was a Dean's Academic Scholar all 4 years. She is a member of Pi Delta Phi, the National French Honor Society. She completed the Maryland and Nice program as well, and she plans to continue her 4+1 program here in Maryland, and she will receive her MA in International Relations with the hope of working in diplomacy or international analysis. She would love to thank her family and friends in French department. She would not be here without them, and we would love to thank her as well for the amazing role that she's played in our department. Hannah Dyro is graduating with a double degree in computer science and French. She is also a graduate of our Maryland and Nice program, and she won one of our AATF Outstanding French Student Awards this spring. She would like to thank her family and friends in the French department, and she is excited to say that she will be moving to France in the fall to participate in the TAPIF, Teaching Assistant Program in France program for the next academic year. Maeve McGee is graduating with a dual degree in French language and literature and microbiology. And she is graduating with piles of awards, notably the Excellence in French Award from AATF, which she received she's actually received it 2 years in a row, once in April 2023, and then again this year for an Excellent Senior Award. She just got back, also days ago, from her semester with Maryland and Nice. I hope you're noticing a theme. And she will be, this is exciting because I see that she's scratched out her possible plans and underlined her definite plans because she has been accepted to move to France and do graduate school in microbiology at the Université de Paris, Saclay. Thank you. Maddie Keene is graduating, Madeline, I'm used to calling you Maddie, is graduating with a double degree in French language and literature and linguistics. And she is also a graduate of our Maryland and Nice program in spring 2023. And she did not put enough on here to indicate what an outstanding student she is and an excellent French speaker. Carmen Metwayer is graduating with a double major in government with international relations and French language and literature. She spent last spring, 2023, in Nice, and she would like to thank her family and friends. She would not be here without them, and the French department. She is planning to stay at UMD and do graduate school in international relations. Owen Cantillon is graduating with a BA in French language and literature. Emmanuelle Nicole Nwesi is graduating with a BA in French and a BS in neuroscience. She also just returned days ago from Maryland and Nice. She is a member of Pi Delta Phi, the French Honor Society, and Lambda Pi Delta, our new French professional fraternity. She'll be starting a PhD in experimental psychology this August at Oklahoma State University. And she wants to thank RGFI, her family, friends, and France, the whole country. Thank you.
She's got some style there. So I would like the candidates in German to please to rise and form a line at the stage, and I will call Professor Hester Baer and Professor Julie Kossers to present the candidates.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the faculty in German Studies, it is my pleasure to present our graduates today. First, I'd like to congratulate all of the graduates and their families on this important accomplishment and all that it signifies. The first graduate I'd like to call up is Liam Baker. Liam is getting his degree in German Studies. He is a member of the National Society of Collegiate Scholars and also a member of the German Honor Society Delta Phi Alpha. And a little known fact, not only is Liam's German exquisite, but I'd have to say that a classic scholar would envy his fluency in Latin, which kept me on my toes in all 4 classes he took with me. So congratulations, Liam. Next up, I'd like to call Marika Dubai. You might remember her. from earlier, you heard a long list of accomplishments and successes that I will not repeat, although I will highlight the Dean's List not only in the College of Arts and Humanities, but also in the School of Business. Just recently, she was awarded Outstanding German Studies Major. And on a personal note, I just want to say, we're a small department, so we get to know all of our students really well. Marika was an essential member of our program. You could count on her to drop what she was doing and to help out, to pitch in anytime she was asked. Maryland Day, I'm like, I need some students to come help us with the table. She's like, on it. German Film Night, I need someone to take all of this leftover pizza back to their dorm room. Who could do that? Marika, me, I got it. So we will miss her greatly, but fortunately, as I learned today, she's not going far. She has, after traveling, after graduation, she will be coming back to the University of Maryland, where she has accepted a job with DOTS, the Department of Transportation, and she'll be starting there in June, and she has already promised that she will come to our film nights. So congratulations, Marika. Next up is Alexander Morris. Alexander is getting his degree in psychology and German studies, cum laude. He studied abroad at the Eberhard Karls University of Tübingen, and he also was awarded last month Outstanding German Studies Major Award. After graduation, he is attending law school with the hopes of pursuing a career where he can continue to utilize his German language skills. Congratulations. Next up is Yesenia Montenegro. Yesenia is getting her degrees in journalism and German studies. She has participated in the Language Partner Program as a mentor. She's received the Donald Hirsch Scholarship, as well as the German Society of Maryland Award. She is also, if I'm not mistaken, a member of Delta Phi Alpha, the German Honorary Society. And after graduation, I'm also pleased to announce that she's not going far, but she is returning to the Department of German Studies to get her master's. So congratulations. And we can't wait to see you. Next up is Daniela Nguyen. Daniela is getting her degrees in English as well as German studies. She didn't list any additional information, so I will elaborate for you on what a wonderful student she is. She also received the Outstanding German Studies Major Award last semester. She is also a recipient of the Anneliese and Alfred Strauss Scholarship. She's a member of Delta Phi Alpha German Honor Society. She was also a Language Partner Program mentor, as well as a mentor to the German cluster in the Language House. So many things. And I am also thrilled and pleased to announce that she will be joining us in the fall to pursue an MA as well in the program. Congratulations. Last but not least, Yassine Sadki, come on up, is getting his degree in German studies. During his time, he has spent a semester, a year? It was a full year, studying abroad at the University of Vienna in Austria. I'm very jealous. I'm also really pleased to announce that he plans on returning back to Vienna after graduating and attending veterinary school in Vienna, which we did not prepare him for that set of vocabulary, but I am thrilled, so congratulations.
I would like the candidates in Japanese, please, to rise and form a line at the stage, and I call Professor Michelle Mason to present the candidates.
Good evening, I'm Michelle Mason, and I'm up here by myself. So let's just think about the animated film, The Girl Who Leaps Through Time. I'll be here, and then all of a sudden I'll be over there, and then I'll be back here, and then all of a sudden I'll be over there with the light. I'm so happy to welcome this group of students this year, a special little batch, but a mighty, each of them in their own way. I'll start with Michael Bogger. Please come on up. In addition to his degree in Japanese, he also minored in linguistics and earned an East Asian Studies certificate. He studied abroad in Kyoto and Hiroshima, and he also was on the RHU Dean's List. He is applying for the well-known and prestigious JET program and hopes to teach English in Japan, to get his feet on the ground there and learn and have more fun with Japanese soon. Michael Bogger. Next is Indy Dorman. I am delighted to be able to talk about Indy, who earned their degree in Japanese and also 2 minors in nonprofit leadership and social innovation, along with English language education. They also earned a Global Communities Honored College minor. They were in the language house for 5 semesters, yes, on the Dean's List for, 2021, 21, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, do I hear 25? No, but maybe, who knows? It's Indy. And finally, they also have musical talents, which include being part of the UMD Koto ensemble member for 2 years. They will, be going to Japan and having many wonderful adventures, I know. Next is Nicholas Levin. Shy, but with a wonderful smile, Nicholas Levin was a double major in computer science and Japanese. He passed the JLPT N2 exam. I know that means nothing to you, but it is the second highest level of proficiency in Japanese. It's a international test, and it's very impressive to get to N2. Congratulations. He participated in the Language Partner Program, and he was on the Dean's List for how many years? 4. Yes, let's give a round of applause for Nicholas Levin. Next is Zoe Phillips. She's getting a degree in Japanese, but she's just a lot more than that. She participated in the Language House for 2 semesters and also went abroad for 2 semesters, living in Osaka. And Osaka has a very special dialect, and so she's got, may I say it, a badass accent in Japanese. Way cooler than my accent in Japanese. I'm just a little bit urayamashi, jealous. She will be becoming an assistant English language teacher under JET starting in August 2024. Okay, there's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go. Okay, next is Maggie Ross. Maggie, of course, got her degree in Japanese, but she also studied abroad for 1 year at Keio University in Japan. And then she liked it so much she stayed for a second year. Okay, and she's going to work full-time in Japan. She's heading back there to take a full-time position in teaching English, and we know she's going to be superb at that job, but also at making friends and having lots more adventures in Japan. Congratulations, Maggie. Last but not least is Eamon Sullivan. He's getting, of course, his Japanese major, but he also has a certificate in East Asian Studies. He was in the Language House, very entertaining and a big part of making that cluster fun. He's looking forward to he's working on becoming a Foreign Service officer with the U.S. State Department. So we'll be watching out for that.
Like to the candidates in Persian to please rise and form a line. We have one candidate, Professor Fatima Keshavaz, will present the candidate.
Well, this year we have only one graduate, but I tell you, he makes up for many, many more. Nathan Boyle is graduating with dual degrees in Persian Studies and Neuroscience, with a minor in Health, Humanities, and Medicine. Nathan is a graduate of the Persian Flagship Program, which he joined in his first year at Maryland. He's a recipient of the Critical Language Scholarship and a two-time recipient of Roshan Institute Amsgar Undergraduate Scholarship in Persian Studies. In his final year in the Persian Flagship Program, he participated in the Language House Living Learning Program. In addition to his involvement in Persian Studies, Nathan served as president of Partners in Health Engage, in various positions in the Student Government Association, and as a volunteer at the University of Maryland Shock Trauma Center. He is also an R.Hugh Dean's Senior Scholar Global Fellow, a Maryland Summer Scholar. Nathan has been inducted into Maryland Medallion Society and Bonn Neuroscience Society. He has been active in research and off-campus work, TA 2 neuroscience courses, and co-authored a peer-reviewed publication and received high honors in neuroscience. Nathan, you're amazing.
Now the candidates in Romance languages, please rise and form a line, and Dr. Hannah Wegman will present the candidates. Do we have none? I don't think they're here. Do we have any? I don't think they're here. Okay, not here. We congratulate them with whatever they are. Okay, I would like the candidates in Russian to rise and form a line at the podium, and I will call Professor Liz Papazian and Professor Laverty.
It's my pleasure to have these Russian students graduate today. As you might have heard if you listen or watch the news, it's a really difficult time to be learning Russian. And these students have navigated it with grace, very intelligently, and I know that they've learned a lot, and I've learned a lot from them as well. So I'd like to now congratulate them. We'll have our first student, please. This is Emma Kosner. She's a graduate in, yes, please, applause. She's graduating with a degree in Russian language and literature and an art history minor. So we congratulate her. Next we have Maria Luchitsky. Also graduating with the degree in Russian language and literature. She's the recipient of the 2022-2023 Maya Brin Award for excellence in the study of Russian. And she will be working in financial criminal investigation with plans to go to grad school in the future. She's a wonderful student, and I'm so happy to see her on stage today. Next we have Rebecca Bernstein. Also earning a degree in Russian and in Jewish studies. She is pursuing nonprofit leadership and social innovation. Among her many honors, we have the university honors, the CLS program in Bishkek in 2023, and she was recently inducted into the Dobroslova Slavic National Honor Society. And after graduation, she'll be pursuing a master's degree at Georgetown University, so she'll be close by. All right, next we have Orit Ziman, a major in, yes, please. A major in Russian, government, and history, if you can imagine how much work that must have been. She would like me to say that she has got the critical language scholarship as well in Nizhny Novgorod, another city in Russia, in 2021, as well as in Bishkek in 2024. And she's also won a Boren Scholarship to study Russian in Latvia for the next academic year. This is a huge honor, so we congratulate her. And last but not least, we have someone you might recognize. This is Evan Finessi, who, yes? Who has also got a degree in Russian language and literature. He's an alumni of the Critical Language Scholarship for Russian as well, studying it in Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, and he's also recently been inducted in the National Slavic Honor Society, Dobroslova. So we congratulate him as well.
And that was Professor Michael Lavery, not Liz Babasian. She was over there, so just for you. So now we have the graduates in second language acquisition. Can you please stand up? And I will call Professor Bronson Hui to present the candidates.
So on behalf of the SLA faculty, I present the following graduates. First and foremost, Dr. Jonathan Malone. His dissertation title is Towards a Theory-Based Account of Vocabulary Processing and Learning Benefits of Reading While Listening. This dissertation actually received 4 dissertation grants, including a prestigious language learning dissertation grant and the Duolingo dissertation grant. Anybody pays for Duolingo? Yeah, no? Thank you for your indirect support for our students' research. So John has greatly enjoyed his doctoral journey here at the school and SLA, especially in studying how L2 second language vocabulary, literacy, and reading are impacted by multimodality. And he's grateful for the friendships, collaborations, and connections forgone during the many years in the program. Congratulations, Dr. Malone. Mona Alsami, MA in Second Language Acquisition. So she's courageous, conducting a research entitled An Investigation of First Language Translation Activation during Second Language Processing. Using eye tracking in our lab, she's passionate about pursuing her PhD in SLA. Congratulations. Anja Larsen, MA in Second Language Acquisition. Anja is a former ESL, English as a Second Language, and EFL, English as a Foreign Language teacher, who is passionate about applying research-based evidence to real-life language learning and teaching. She looks forward to pursuing a career in language learning technology after graduation. Congratulations, Anja. Hamid Hanafi. MA in Second Language Acquisition. Ahmed is a lecturer of foreign languages, actually in our school, who is pushed by his everlasting passion to keep learning more in the field of languages and teaching. He will be pursuing a PhD program here in our school in SLA in the fall 2024. Congratulations, Ahmed.
Okay, we're almost there. We're down to the last, and that will be the candidates in Spanish. ¿Dónde está mi gente? Get up. We'll make up for doing the last alphabetically, but we'll be the most vociferous. And I will call Professor Ryan Long and Dr. Lewis, Chris Lewis, and Professor Mel Penrose, and myself will be here for you guys, hugging and kissing.
It is my great honor, privilege, and pleasure to congratulate all of the graduates and their families today, and so fantastic to see so many of my students here. Congratulations, everyone. I will begin by announcing the master's degree in Spanish, and then I will pasar la palabra to my colleague, Dr. Chris Lewis. Earning a master's degree in Spanish this year is Izzy Quintana, who has been an absolute pleasure to have in class. Izzy would like to thank everyone who has been on this journey with her, and she has made so many friends and she loves them all dearly. Izzy would also like to say that in the future she is going to see what life throws at me. I know she will catch it with aplomb, grace, and the humor that she always shows. Izzy, Congratulations.
Movidita. Okay, this is a special group for me. I have now been the undergraduate advisor long enough that I was here when every one of you started. So I've seen you from your first Spanish class now through your lasts, so I'm excited. And we get to start with one of my favorites, Mirna Araujo, who's been here with us for a while. There we go. Getting her BA in Spanish Language, Literatures, and Cultures. She will be continuing her education with the Science in the Evening program and is commissioning as an Army officer at the end of the summer. She would like to dedicate her degree a todas las mariposas del barrio. Okay. Giselle Carranza, BA in Spanish and politics, philosophy, politics, and economics. They just gave me the letters. I had to remember all of that. Okay. She would like to thank her mother and grandparents for the opportunities they have provided her with these last 4 years, as well as her best friends, who all have been her rock throughout it all. She's extremely grateful for all of you, as without their continuous and unwavering support, her dreams of graduating would never have been possible. She will be pursuing law school next year with hopes of becoming an attorney. Carmen Centeno, who was just awarded the Graciela Nemes Outstanding Spanish Student Award, unanimously given to her by the professors of the Spanish department for all of her work and dedication over the last 4 years. We're gonna do this Carmen's way. So, le gustaría dedicar eso a su familia, que ese logro se lo dedica a mi familia. Gracias por su apoyo y sí se pudo. Carmen's a first-generation student and graduate for her family here today. This is really a big deal. We're excited for her. Diane Choi, another special part of the Spanish department, was a Korean language partner tutor, and her favorite experience was studying abroad in Spain with us during the summer of 2022. She hopes to utilize her multilingual skills to serve the diverse populations and patients in the DMV as a future medical student. Congratulations to you. Melissa is only here because I bullied her into it. Melissa Cook is a brilliant, outstanding student. Joined us in our winter study abroad in Havana, Cuba in 2023, and will be coming with us to Spain here in like 6 days. Yeah. So Melissa did all of this while also doing a lot of other cool things. Returning to school as a mom and with 2 young kids was hard, but so worth it. She is so grateful to her husband for pushing her to accomplish this long-held goal, and her family for supporting her through this process. And she has accepted a position teaching high school Spanish with Anne Arundel County Public Schools, where she's going to be great. Lillian Geschlin, who has also been a staple in the Spanish department and is beloved by all of her teachers. She is getting her degrees in Spanish language and business. She studied abroad in Sevilla and was in the language house for 2 semesters. And she is going to teach in Spain, which is pretty cool. I wish I was doing that. And then going on to grad school, but Spain first, because the food's better. Okay, we like our student athletes. Zora Jackson, degree in Spanish literature and culture. Studied abroad in Barcelona. Is on the women's soccer team and is a member of University Honors and is planning on teaching abroad after graduation. Ramon Casaraba. That's so hard for me to say that without a Spanish accent. Okay. Ramon participated in the Spain Culture, Language, and Literature in Salamanca and Barcelona program with us, and is also in the Gemstone Honors program. He will be continuing his educational career at the University of Maryland, College Park, and pursuing a master's in public health, concentrating in epidemiology. Okay. Isabel Layton, another long-established favorite and fantastic student in the Spanish department. Studied abroad in San Jose, Costa Rica, taking Spanish and biology courses. At the Language House for 5 semesters, from fall 2019 through the fall of 2021. Is a member of the Spanish Honor Society. Isabel is graduating with a BA in Spanish this year, following her graduation with a BS in Environmental Sciences last May. Throughout college, she worked at the intersection of science and Spanish by translating at state parks in Maryland between the English-speaking park staff and the Spanish-speaking visitors. She has thoroughly enjoyed her time at UMD and deeply grateful to the faculty and staff. Gracias a mi familia y amigos por su apoyo. She's an outdoor recreation specialist at the Maryland Department of Natural Resources. Okay, Mia Louie, Spanish and psychology, and a minor in linguistics?
No, that's a linguistics track.
Linguistics track, there we go. Okay, they didn't tell me. My bad. She's a Banneker Key Honors recipient. She's the Honors Humanities, studied abroad in Sevilla, is a Phi Beta Kappa Dean's List every semester. That's a big deal. If you don't know what that is, you should, because it's a big deal. Full-time job now doing post-baccalaureate in neuroscience and psychology research at the NIH, which is also a really big deal, where she will be investigating mindfulness interventions in the brains of teens who vape, which they probably shouldn't be doing. Yeah. Gracias a todos por su apoyo, especialmente a su hermanita Gabriela. Kurt Maslin, again, one of my favorite students. I had a chance to work with Kurt. Double majoring in Spanish and journalism. He was a College of Arts and Humanities Dean List, and he is will be a news producer at WKYT in Lexington, Kentucky. He would like to thank his family and his friends who flew from all over Illinois just to come and celebrate with him. That's a good friend right there. So we can see you. You're the important one, not me. Okay, Samantha Ray Hack. I said that kind of right. I coughed in the middle. Sorry. Samantha Ray Hack. Spanish, Language, Literatures, and Cultures, and Psychology, double degree. Made the Dean's List, studied in Puerto Rico for the Life Science Scholars Program, student athlete, the equestrian team with UMD, and will be a physician's assistant, is going to physician's assistant school after a gap year working as a medical assistant and medical interpreter. She would like to thank her family and friends and amazing professors for all of her success. The success is yours. You did that. Nicely done. Okay. Hayden Renahan. Spanish and Latin American literature, culture, and media, as well as philosophy, politics, and economics. She wrote it out for me. Thank you. Hayden is a College Park Scholar, a Global Fellow, a member of Phi Beta Kappa, Omicron Delta Kappa, attended the Clark in Madrid program, and worked with the Student Legal Aid Office. She's an intern at the Office of Political Affairs at the Embassy of Mexico to the United States. She is hoping to continue pursuing her passion for languages as an English language and cultural assistant in Galicia, Spain. Okay. Catherine Rodriguez, double degree in Spanish and electrical engineering, with a minor in linguistics. I don't know if you could have done anything harder. Really, nicely done. Semester abroad, where did you go? Madrid, that's right. Study abroad in Madrid, Latin honors, and is magna cum laude. She graduated magna cum laude, is graduating magna cum laude, completed the Global Fellows program, and will be working at Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Lab and pursuing a master's in electrical engineering. Isabel Watras, Spanish language, literatures, and cultures. Participated in the first year innovation and research experience and will be continuing to pursue research in the relationship between language barriers and healthcare access. She will be attending the University of Maryland School of Nursing to receive a master's in nursing. Synergy Martel, Spanish language, literature, and culture, and government and politics majors. Studied abroad in Sevilla, Spain. Won the International Development Scholarship. Is currently working as a program manager at Montgomery Housing Partnership. And will be attending Georgetown School of International Development and Policy during 2025. Congratulations.
Okay, wow, what a day. What a phenomenal group of graduates. Multiple degrees, minors, awards, scholarships, exciting plans for next year. I don't know any other department, school on this campus who can do better than us. Congratulations to all of you and to all of your faculty, all the faculty here, and all the faculty who couldn't be here for getting to this point. So before we wrap this up, I have a few brief announcements, reminders, and thank yous. First, I want to thank our speakers, Dean Shonikin, Professor Keshavarskara Mustafa, and Marika Debay. I got it right the first time. I'd also like to express my deepest appreciation to the staff members of SLLC who have worked so hard for months, literally for months, to make sure that this day ran smoothly. To Valerie Lewis in particular, who has walked alongside of you and supported you often from behind the scenes or via a multitude of email messages in the various bureaucratic matters that go along with an education at a large state university. Thanks also to Nico, Janelle, Nacy, Lauren, Barb, and Chanel, and our wonderful GAs, Micheline and Handa, whom I've seen coming and going throughout this. And of course, gracias to Ada Merediz for hosting our ceremony today and for being the organizing force behind this whole event since early September. And one of the things she organized was an outstanding reception that's waiting for you, hosted by the school in honor of all of our new graduates and their families. It will be held in Knight Hall, which is the School of Journalism, at the end of the Z parking lot. We hope that we will see you all there. So we'll adjourn shortly, and I'd like to ask the friends and family to remember when we start going, please allow the faculty and the graduates to process before leaving. Before we process graduates, could you please stand up? I would like to ask all of you to turn around and face your friends and family members. You're so smart. You're so clever that you knew already what I wanted you to do, which was to thank everyone for all the success, all the support that they've given you, and for being here to celebrate with you. All right, now turn back around, and please face your faculty members and mentors on stage, and join me in giving a warm round of applause to them and to all the faculty members here who've supported you. Okay, now, are you ready? By the admittedly severely limited powers that are vested in me as the director of the School of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures, I now officially declare you all to be graduates and new alums of the School of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures. To officially mark your new, earned, and esteemed status as freshly minted graduates, please move your tassels from the right to the left. And everyone else, make a joyful noise of celebration. Congratulations again, and please allow the faculty and graduates to leave before audience members you leave, and I hope to meet many, many of you in Knight Hall. Thank you.